When we first moved into the house, it seemed like a dream come true. Nestled at the edge of town, it was quiet, with a sprawling backyard and large oak trees that seemed to whisper in the wind. Clara was enchanted by the charm of the old place. The creaking wooden floors, the stained glass window above the front door, and the antique mirror left behind in the hallway. "It's like the house has a soul," she said with a smile. At first, I thought nothing of her remark. But as the days turned into weeks, I began to wonder if she was right, though not in the comforting way she intended. It began subtly, almost imperceptibly. A chill lingered in the air no matter how high we set the thermostat. Lights flickered sporadically, and shadows stretched unnaturally long at dusk. Clara dismissed it all as quirks of an old house. I wanted to believe her. The first undeniable incident happened late one night. I awoke to a faint scratching sound coming from the walls. At first, I thought it might be mice, but the noise was too deliberate, like fingernails dragging slowly across wood. I followed the sound to the hallway where the antique mirror hung. In the dim light, my reflection looked wrong. It moved a fraction of a second slower than I did, and my eyes, seemed darker, emptier. I leaned closer, my breath fogging the glass. Suddenly, a handprint appeared on the inside of the mirror, pressing against the surface as if someone were trapped inside. I stumbled back, my heart racing. When I told Clara, she laughed nervously. "You're just tired," she said, but I could see the doubt in her eyes. The house grew bolder after that. Objects disappeared and reappeared in strange places. A kitchen knife wedged into the bathroom doorframe, Clara's wedding ring buried in the soil of a dying potted plant. The whispers started soon after, faint and unintelligible at first, but growing clearer each night. "Leave," they hissed. "You don't belong here." Clara tried to rationalize it. "It's probably the wind," she said, though her hands trembled as she spoke. But we both knew better. One evening, as I worked late in the home office, I heard Clara scream from the living room. I raced downstairs to find her standing in front of the antique mirror, her face pale and tear-streaked. "It was watching me," she whispered. "I saw a face, an old woman's face." I turned the mirror to the wall, but that didn't stop the nightmares. Clara started waking up with bruises on her arms, long finger-shaped marks that couldn't be explained. I heard her mumbling in her sleep, her voice low and guttural, speaking words in a language I didn't recognize. One night, I woke to find her standing at the foot of the bed, staring at me with a vacant expression. "Clara?" I whispered. She didn't respond, but a chilling grin spread across her face, one that didn't belong to her. When I touched her arm, she collapsed into my arms, sobbing. "It's in me," she choked out. "It's inside me." Desperate for answers, we delved into the history of the house. What we found was worse than we could have imagined. The land had been home to a sprawling estate in the 1800s, owned by a woman named Evelyn Hawthorne, a reclusive widow rumored to dabble in dark magic. After her mysterious disappearance, the estate was abandoned and eventually torn down. Our house had been built directly over the ruins of her cellar. In the library's archives, we found grainy photographs of Evelyn's belongings, including a mirror identical to the one in our hallway. A caption beneath one photo read, "Evelyn's Gateway to the Beyond." Terrified, we tried to leave, but the house wouldn't let us go. Every attempt to pack up and leave was thwarted. Luggage disappeared, car keys melted into a pool of unrecognizable metal, and the front door slammed shut whenever we approached it. The final straw came when I discovered a trapdoor beneath the living room rug. It hadn't been there before. Trembling, I pried it open to reveal a narrow staircase descending into darkness. Against Clara's pleas, I descended, clutching a flashlight. The basement was damp and suffocating, the air heavy with the stench of decay. Strange symbols were carved into the walls, pulsating faintly with an otherworldly glow. At the center of the room stood an altar, and on it, the antique mirror. The surface of the mirror rippled like water, and as I approached, a shadowy figure stepped out. It was Evelyn Hawthorne, or what was left of her. Her hollow eyes bore into mine as she stretched a skeletal hand toward me. "This is my home," she rasped. "You are the intruder." I stumbled backward, tripping over the uneven floor. Evelyn lunged, her hand grazing my arm. A searing pain shot through me as her touch burned like fire. I scrambled up the stairs, slamming the trapdoor shut behind me. That night, the house came alive. Walls groaned, windows shattered, and the whispers turned into deafening screams. Clara and I clung to each other, praying for morning. When dawn finally broke, the house was silent, but we knew it wasn't over. The bruises on Clara's arms had turned into deep gashes, and my reflection in the bathroom mirror no longer matched my movements. We're still here, trapped. The house won't let us go, and Evelyn's presence grows stronger every day. Sometimes I hear her voice coming from the trap door. I live on Riverside Lane, she replied. I know it's only a matter of time before she takes us completely.